Okay, so let's go over this here. So this is the first three punts we just saw. I'm just going to point out a few quick things. Um, One of which is what we were talking about earlier is kind of maybe stepping a little bit too far to the right and then trying to work our way back to the middle of the field for a mid punt. So here we go. We're stepping far to the right, coming back closer up the field. Okay, and kind of swinging a little bit of an arc. Now, we don't need to change a whole bunch of that. You can still do a slight right, and kind of use what you're used to doing with your body naturally. I'm okay with that. But let's definitely try to cut down on the drasticness of that first step going off to your right. Gotta get you some better snaps here. They got warmed up later. So this one's a little better. Less drastic. Looks like you made pretty decent contact on the ball there too. I like the finish. I believe this is the one that you turned over. I know it was pretty windy that day, so as you can see when you made contact, your foot struck the ball right in the middle of it. I still think it had a little bit too much angle though. I think if you straighten out the ball a little bit, you'll be able to hit a better ball that travels more down the field instead of having to swing an arc to hit it and turn it over. Okay, I want to say this is one of the ones you hit off the front of the ball here. So if you watch right here off the front of the ball, and you can tell if you slow that back down with your computer and look at your foot hitting the ball, it hits the front of the ball. And that's kind of where I think swinging less of an arc is going to be important for you. Just basically making better contact through the middle of the ball is going to help you out by cutting down on that first large step and getting you kind of like you're hitting right here, up and through the ball. And that's a good swing. Okay, so this is just your one steps. This is primarily just a time where you warm up, working on getting a good clean drop, and hitting a nice spiral, getting good ball to foot contact, really seeing your foot hit the ball, and keeping your ankle locked. We want to hit these nice and easy. Eventually we can ramp them up once you get used to it, but mostly just good ball to foot contact, seeing your foot dissect the middle of the ball with your ankle locked. Okay, so here we have the full steps, front view, and it's a little windy going left to right for you. If we're looking at the screen right now, the wind's going right to left, obviously. So I felt like that pulled your ball off your contact point with your foot a little bit, since we were trying to stay on the line. It's understandable. It's pretty windy, but I want you to watch a few things. One is your guide hand. I feel like it comes off a little too early, just a touch too early. I want to keep that on that ball soft with the left hand right now, just a touch longer. And then, yeah, see the wind just kind of pulled it off. You hit it thin. And then I think you're doing a good job of straightening your ball out, but maybe not as much. For you, I think a little bit of angle is good. So what you were doing before with the heavy amount of angle, and then what you're doing right there, I want you to try to play with it and find the middle of those two with the drop. I think it's going to help you out with getting your best ball to foot contact. Also, I want you to be aware of this slight little up and down from the plant foot, or from the front first step to there. There's a little bit of a jump going the last step. It's very minute, but as I talk about later, we want to work on gliding and sliding with our feet quickly and then whipping our leg through, as opposed to stepping with the first one and trying to generate a little bit of power off our first step and going into our plant step. I think that's going to cause inconsistency if we do that. So let's try to smooth that out a little bit. kind of right there where there's a little slight hop. It's very minute, but it's slight, so let's be aware. Okay, the last thing I'll say is I don't want to overload you. Is what we were talking about here about kind of, it's small, it's very small and hard to see, but it's a little bit of a jump into our plant step as opposed to gliding through like I just did. You want to step and be smooth, but you got to be careful off of this step there. That one was fine, but you'll see when the last ones you hit here, there's a little bit of a jump into it right here. See that little hop into the last step? I want you to try to get rid of that hop and really work on being smooth, pull the leg through. Those are kind of the main key points from the day that we should just start to work on, and everything else will kind of eventually clear itself up. But I feel like if you can relax and just focus on having good technique and going through it, it'll probably take care of itself. But I just don't want you to form that habit of getting to that first step and then jumping right there. You see what I'm saying? Where you kind of post up on your first step to get to your last step to hit it. It's kind of a habit that a lot of young guys get, and it happens a lot, but we want to try to eliminate that and get you smooth and stepping smooth on your feet and then pulling your leg through and whipping your leg through. All right.